Welcome to a special episode of MissJudged.
Thanks for coming back, guys.
Yes. In case you forgot, I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Teresa.
Single life versus partnership life. Who's winning?
Who is winning?
It is the competition.
I don't actually know if there's a real good answer to that. Kinda.
It is a competition, just so everyone's aware. No, I'm just kidding. This episode, we're going to explore the societal pressures of being single at this age, the pressure that we get, how it influences our choices.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's a lot to unpack with this one, I feel.
It's a heavier episode than what we've touched earlier.
Yeah, like, are we failing if we're single? Are we missing out? Are we missing out if we're partnered and watching our single friends? Like, there's a lot to unpack here. And don't worry, it'll be fun. We're still going to be unhinged and feral per usual. But this one is definitely one that men and women can definitely join in the conversation.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the differences of what those societal expectations look like for men and women, because the pros and cons of being single or coupled seem to be a little bit different with both sexes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the pros of being single. Okay, the pros of being single as a woman.
I get to do whatever I want, and I don't have to check in with anyone.
Whatever we want.
Whatever I want.
I can walk around my house naked as all hell, eating whatever, doing whatever. The dog's not going to talk.
If I want to sleep in and I don't want to feel judged for it.
Mm-hmm. Because you can wake up at 2 p.m. if you want. Not that I don't want to wake up at 2 p.m.
I don't either.
You can.
I used to be more of a sleeper in person, but now I just feel like it's just not it.
It's never been who I am unless I went to bed at 8 a.m. or something, but that's not happening.
That sounds like a long night.
It's not happening at this big-ass age. Okay, so travel. You can travel whenever you want.
Yeah, literally.
Do whatever you want.
Like,
I want to go to Greece. I can go to Greece. I don't have to compromise.
Or plan it out in super far advance because you have to check in with your man or woman and just see when it could work with your schedule, or just being like, is it okay?
Yeah.
Do you think I'm going to ask somebody, is it okay if I go on this vacation?
Yeah. And also, I can book whatever seat I want. Yeah. I can stay in whatever hotel I want. I can carry on whatever I want. Although I do like traveling with a guy because they can help me lift my suitcase. But strangers are nice too.
Yeah, strangers are nice for that, honestly.
Okay, so here's my big one. You can eat whatever you want. I have never had more fights in a relationship than over what to eat for dinner. It's a debate.
It is a debate.
It's a debate.
It's really hard to make a decision sometimes. I'm guilty of that, but that's just because I'm a little picky. So it's me.
I'm not. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I, as a woman, and I don't eat meat. I'm a pescatarian. One would hear that and think, oh, I'm the problem. The men I have dated have been the problem. They're all like, I don't want to eat. I don't want carbs tonight. I want to eat light. I don't want to do. I'm just like, whatever. I can eat anywhere but barbecue. I struggle with barbecue. That's it.
Yeah. What are you going to eat? The coleslaw?
Everything has meat at a barbecue joint usually, even the mac and cheese, even the sides, the greens, whatever. But what I'm saying is 90% of the time I'm like open. I can find anything at a restaurant, but I will push back if you pick a restaurant and there's one item I can eat.
It's hard when you really don't have an option. Like, that's where sort of some compromise needs to come in, and like understand that as a pescatarian, you need to have at least 2 options.
Well, also with that, you can spend whatever, whenever. You get those packages to your door, nobody can say shit.
Nobody's judging you for that. Multiple packages being delivered.
Yeah, except my doorman.
Yeah.
he definitely threw some shade on Black Friday. Someone had a good time.
Let me live.
Yeah, I don't like that, but you know, nobody's there to tell you what you can and can't do. But it's basically the big gist of it. Oh, and you can be as skinny or as fat as you want.
Honestly.
Live your life.
I mean, I'm a closet eater myself. We'll get into that later. But it's also, it comes from not wanting to feel like I don't like people to watch me eat anyways, really, unless somebody else is also eating. But I don't want to be judged by what I'm eating because
Yeah, you could have
I
gummy
want
bears
to
for
enjoy
breakfast.
it. And I do.
I know this bitch.
Yesterday, she
literally
eats candy for dinner.
She does.
I do.
We hate you for it. Oh my God, the way I have to eat healthy. Okay, my Netflix is only things I like. When I have been in a relationship, your stuff starts to become what they force you to watch, which
or
sucks.
what you want to have to compromise on, where it's like meeting you both halfway, but you're still not getting to watch your shows.
Yeah, and nobody's making you watch something then falling asleep right when it comes on.
Or you guys start a season and then you maybe can't get into all the episodes at the same time, and then the other partner's upset because you watched them before them.
By the way, some of these things can also apply to single men. I just want to put that disclaimer out there. This is for single men and single women.
Yeah.
So you can eat whatever, you can travel whenever, you can do whatever, you can spend whatever, you can look however you want.
Dress whatever, wear whatever you want to wear.
Wear whatever. Look as crazy as you want.
I've never felt like I've been in a situation where they've made so many comments about like what I'm wearing. A little. But it would be like, oh, I don't really like those kinds of tops. But not towards me, like seeing it on someone even, but like then just putting that little tick in the back of my mind of like, oh, well, that's not what they like. Like it feels like it comes on so subtly, but it is a bit of, it's just not it for me.
Okay, we can wear whatever we want and
Yeah.
nobody's going to be there to tell us that we can't.
You can't wear that. Who are you looking to dress like that for?
But also, you can hook up with whoever you want. I mean, that's what the men want to hear.
That's what the men want to hear.
That's what
but
the men and the women want to hear.
supposedly have a harder time of finding casual hookups. Maybe not in New York City.
No, but like the gist of the matter is when you're single,
You can do it.
you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want. And that is the upside,
Yeah.
obviously. But there is a downside. I mean, the
course.
cons of being a single woman. Okay, now we're going to break it out by women and men.
Yeah.
So
Cons of being a single woman.
Yeah.
In your 30s or in general?
Just-
like
I mean-
beyond 30s?
we're talking to the millennials and the Gen Z, everybody who's
Okay.
single, everybody. I think there's cons to being single as a woman in different age groups. I think for millennials and anyone older, it's that gonna die alone scariness, I think. Sometimes people have that, you know,
Yeah.
as JD Vance would say, we're gonna be crazy cat ladies or whatever the fuck he said.
Hello, honey. I already am.
Just own it.
Yeah.
Own it. No, but I mean, look, I don't want to get to like an old age and be like having to worry about taking care of myself, getting myself to a nursing home. I don't want to die alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a very real feeling.
Well,
I think a
that's
lot of
also,
people
like,
have that feeling.
Hopefully you have a bit of the family you've built to some of that, because
Oh.
some people do. I mean, what if you even have a partner and then they pass before you?
Let me tell you, all my partners have never been taking care of themselves. And I know I'm outliving these men.
We usually do. Women usually do.
I think some of my friends too don't take care of themselves like that. It's not you.
Thank God.
No, that we feel the pressure too. Like the women get this unnecessary pressure put on them from friends, family, even guys they go on dates with, where it's like, you sure about that? You know what I mean? You sure you want to be single? What are like time's a ticking.
Also, to be very clear, at this big age, I am 1000% single by choice, because I refuse to not have my needs met and just be in a relationship just for the sake of the pressures that society has on us. I'm not looking just for any person. I'm looking for my person.
No, I know. And that's going to take time. But I also think that like we have this very unfair con of having to be very mindful of a clock if we do want to have a baby. And I know everyone's out here and we can freeze our eggs. I want to be the first person to be out here and tell you guys I've frozen my eggs twice. It's not a guarantee. Okay, so another pro to being single as a man or woman, your next great adventure is right around the corner sometimes. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. Speaking to somebody who loves to just say yes to life. You.
I YOLO so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YOLO is a millennial term I can't even right now.
YOLO, FOMO, whatever. It's me. I am her. She is me. No, you never know. So
you don't. And also, like, as a single person, just say yes.
say yes to everything.
One piece of advice that I just received from somebody who is passing away from cancer about dating is to say yes to everybody because you don't know what kind of adventure you're going to have.
Say yes.
I mean, obviously not a narcissist. We never want to find those, but like,
Yeah.
say yes.
Yeah.
You'll have fun.
By the way, another big thing about a pro of being single, start that company. Say yes, take that job, move to that country. You could do anything.
Literally nothing's holding you back.
Yeah.
If you don't have kids, if you don't have anyone, like, go make the moves. Go and
yeah.
see the world.
I started my company at 22. I wouldn't have done that if I was married. And trust me, my college boyfriend tried.
Oh.
I wouldn't be having this life.
Yeah. Things would be different.
Okay, but going back to the cons of being single as a woman. So we have the time clock on babies.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
That's
and
what they
also
say.
like the freezing of the eggs. Everybody thinks, oh, we can do it now and it's going to be our insurance. I want to be here to say it is not 100% insurance policy at all. So like, yes, it's great and we should all do it if you can and you have the means. But the numbers are hard. It's not 100%.
Of like success.
There's a lot that can go wrong in the whole process.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a lot on a woman. And just to try to save ourselves from that running clock that's going.
Yeah.
Having the pressures from family too of like, when are you going to have kids if you're single?
Mm-hmm.
Having that
always
external pressure. Yeah.
We're always answering that.
When are you going to have a boyfriend? I don't know, Karen. I don't have a crystal ball.
No, but also as a woman, I feel this at family functions way more than my male cousins. You get put on the spot about what's wrong, honey? Like you're doing something wrong. And the way that it's not the same for guys.
No, it's really not. They don't have the same harassment when it comes to having kids, at least in my experience. I'm sure some people have moms that want to, or like their moms want to be grandparents, but I don't think that pressure is nearly as hard as it is on women. Because again, we have that lovely clock.
Well, also if you're dating around and you're casually dating, you're like labeled as like slutty.
Yeah, as a woman.
I unfortunately feel like that's still something a lot of guys are like, I want her to be like, not on OnlyFans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I still feel like the double standard is huge.
It is huge and it's unfair.
Yeah.
A lot of being a woman and dealing with this type of pressure is very unfair. We have the clocks, unfortunately. Geriatric pregnancy over 35. That's crazy.
I mean, men are literally having kids in their 80s.
Let me tell you though, we'll get into that because judgments and cons of single men. Okay. I'm here to say, you heard it here first. Your sperm is not good till you die.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Your sperm is not good until you die, okay? It's not a whole, I can do it whenever. It's not over 40. You have a higher chance of having a child with needs. Look it up.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Your sperm gets dusty. I'm tired of men thinking they got all the time in the world. All these 45-year-old men plus. I have time. Honey, your sperm's already old. I'm here to tell you because nobody's looking up that fact. Autism is higher. Special needs are higher. Dusty sperm over 40. I want you to hear it and hear it loud, hear it proud. I'm serious.
Not the dusty
sperm. A lot of men
sperm.
don't know that. I've had to actually have this conversation with a lot of men where they're like, I've got time. My friends that are messing around in their late 30s, and I'm like, it's not good forever. You're taking a risk. Just like how us women get all this pressure put on us, nobody's telling men to the same extent their sperm is going to have more issues the older they get. And it's a real fact.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I also feel like these days it has changed where we aren't having babies necessarily as early too when we are pushing it out. So we're also pushing ourselves into the space where it is more or less in our 30s when we are having kids too. And
yeah.
It is a double standard, but men, you can't get away with it forever.
No, and I want that to be really loud and clear to all the male listeners because, like, I think there is a big misconception about that, and nobody talks about it. but the sperm is not good forever. It is not a, you got to use it before you do lose it. Okay. So just remember, when everyone's talking about birth rates are down, it's a lot of these older men trying to settle down later and they're having problems, just like the women. Also, all of the people I know that have struggled with fertility, it was actually the men that were having the issue.
I was going to say that because same.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but there's quite a few.
Every single couple I know that struggled with fertility was on the male side, which is so surprising to me.
The feedback that was given to the people I know too, it also has to do a lot about your lifestyle.
Well, that could be a whole episode.
I mean, if you're out here partying, drinking, binge drinking, and doing drugs consistently, it isn't going to make you have healthy sperm.
That goes both ways, by the way. A lot of people need to drink less in major cities. It's the activity. So with men and fertility, right? Women, we have signs. Sometimes you don't get a period. You have bad periods. You have endometriosis, PCOS, whatever it is. Men will be out here having their... you can fill in the blanks. They'll be doing it all day, every day. But you don't know how that sperm count is.
Yeah.
And it could be literally nothing. And they don't know till they try.
Yeah. And then if you just go to the doctor, because how would you know? You don't know.
I've dated people and asked them to check it out. And guess what? They are afraid.
Because they don't want to know the answer.
A lot of guys don't want to go to the doctor.
I feel like that's the doctors in general. Like people don't want to get bad news. And so not going, like ignorance is bliss. I mean.
So to circle back to the parking space of judgments for men that are single, I think the biggest thing is that people around them usually think they're lonely.
Yeah.
They don't have a partner, which is not the same for women. I don't think people think we're lonely. They think we're sad. They don't think we're lonely.
They think we're sad for sure.
They just think we're pathetic. But but people think men are lonely. Like especially, some of these introverted men really thrive living alone, honestly, and not having a partner.
Yeah.
They are never happier. Their parents are wanting grandchildren too, though. The single men do get that sometimes. But it's less. And it's usually, from what I've heard from my guy friends, they get asked it like twice and then it doesn't really get brought up every family gathering.
It just dies.
Yeah.
That's fine. Can it be the same for us?
Yeah. I think guys like in their late 30s and 40s, especially in the city, a lot of their friends are married and are starting to have kids or have kids. I think that they start to feel left out.
They do.
And like they have to hurry up and do it too.
Yeah, there is actually that pressure of your friends doing all the same thing and you want to do it too.
Yeah. I feel like for some reason, I don't know if I speak for all women, but I speak for myself. I've never had that feeling, even though a lot of my friends are married and have moved on to other situations.
I haven't had that feeling either.
I'm like, okay, actually, because I see how much they struggle, it's almost a turn off to me sometimes.
Yeah. Because you do hear about, everyone has relationship issues, but when you hear about it a lot, it doesn't look appealing to me necessarily.
Men have a harder time when they're single, just having casual hookups. Some of them. So, some of the guys are out here throwing it around. But I think a lot of guys, it's harder for, a single woman can we hold the keys to the castle. Let's be real.
We do. Men, I've heard them say that women choose who they want to sleep with and men sleep with whatever they can get.
Yeah. Poor babes.
I know.
Some of them have their pick of the litter.
Some of them have women throwing themselves at them. Absolutely. But I've heard that men tend to have a harder time than women do when initiating a casual hookup.
Okay. So what are the pros of being coupled at this age?
Dual income.
Oh, yeah. We love that double shmoney.
It's
so nice, I'm sure.
In this day and age.
To not, I have to scrape and scrimp and fight to the death sometimes in my life. Especially
dual income. Ugh. Dual income. Like splitting rent. It's hard out here as a single person trying to support yourself when you see your friends who are in partnerships and they get to go do whatever because their rent is literally half.
The way that I literally had to almost be homeless when I started my company, and how I was so stressed out all the time. I said a phrase the other day to one of my girlfriends where she was like, I've been clenched all day. I said, I have been clenched since 2011 when I started my company. I've been clenched. Like, it is an uphill battle, and it would have been nice to have a partner to help, catch me if I fell.
Yeah.
But I had never had that little safety net. But
yeah.
It's stressful.
It is stressful. Because women also, we also have the loneliness. You want that person to be there that you can like lean on when you're having a hard time.
Yeah. So they got that dual income. They got an ear to listen to.
You have somebody to take adventures with, like see the world with a partner, have a travel buddy.
Yeah. You always have somebody down to do stuff.
Yeah.
You have consistent sexy time.
Consistent sexy time?
If it's good, that's up to you. Some of you guys need to do better.
You also, my favorite thing, because yes, I am single and my mom is my emergency contact. It'd be cool if somebody else could be that. I
know it is cool. Like it's cool to not have to put your mommy at this big ass age.
This is my relationship, mommy. Yeah. No,
like who? Oh my god, I don't even want to think about who I would have to put if she wasn't there. That's so fucking morbid. But no, like that is a real thing. Yeah. Not having somebody. I've seen funerals where they couldn't find enough pallbearers to carry a casket. Like, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, heartbreaking. So, like, not dying alone, again.
Yeah.
Key thing. If you want to have kids, that's an option.
Obviously.
And you have somebody to help do that with you.
Yeah.
You know what? I've never thought about it more than when I am sick and I only got to walk the dog. And sometimes I've been so sick, I'm like, I can't today, Butters.
Yeah.
The way that I would have to if it was a child.
Yeah.
As a single parent. I've never had more respect for a single parent than in those moments when I really think about it. I'm like, those people are freaking, I don't even know how they do it.
I have 2 cats. I don't even have to take them on a walk. And when I'm not feeling well and they're bugging me, it's a lot. And again, they're cats. They take care of themselves for the most part.
Yeah. So you also have somebody to help pick up their hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone to help with the household chores.
Yeah. Pick up the hair.
You could be sick and they'll help with the laundry.
That would be nice.
If they're a good partner. This is based on good partners, by the way. There are people that are partnered that are not living like this because they have a bad partner.
They have a bad partner. And then that leads us right into the next segment of like settling.
Yeah. Oh my God, don't do it. I know everyone who I know who has settled is the reason I am still single. I have seen so many people be so freaking in love, and the way they joined in the planning process is amazing. And then I've also seen where the woman did everything, and I didn't meet the man till the day of the wedding. True story.
Because he didn't want to?
More than once that's happened.
Was she a control freak?
Oh, I think it's been both sides.
Oh.
But when people say, like, doesn't that make you, I've always answer with, I've never been happier to be single sometimes with the dynamics I've witnessed.
100%. I've seen it a lot. There's not many relationships that I know that make me be like, I really want to be in a relationship, something similar to that, because I don't see many of those, honestly.
Well, also, here's the thing. When you're partnered, again, adventure is not around the corner anymore.
No.
You know what you're going to expect every day.
You can't just take a quick flight out on a random date with someone new. No, well, obviously.
Okay. And also, like, open marriages, open relationships, different episode, because some of those people are cool with it. But we're talking about, like, partnered up people. Yeah. Your adventure is probably not around the next corner. You could be with an adventurous partner and you guys still have that spark and you do book last minute travel, but it's very different.
Yeah. It's not as on a whim.
No. And it's not as like...
Because you're also considering someone else's feelings and opinions of what that travel also looks like.
Okay, so I think some people are missing out on their single life.
Yeah.
They're missing out on being able to hang with their friends whenever. By the way, I'm here to say if you're in a relationship, you should be able to hang with your friends occasionally, and you should know how to do that. And you shouldn't have to always ask permission, men and women. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of men having to be like, I got to check with the ball and chain. I don't want to be that ball and chain ever for a man.
If you're referring to me as a ball and chain, cut me loose.
But I also think sometimes people use their partner as a scapegoat to get out of things they don't want to do. And they'll be like,
I'm guilty of
he doesn't
it.
want to go. And they didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
They're just using them. And then we hate the partner because we think the partner sucks.
I've also, if the person I'm with doesn't want to do it, I will say, blame me. That's fine.
Oh, I've said that too. And then they did blame me in front of my face to everybody and everybody shit on me. And then I was like, it was him.
Oh, it was via text. Just right under the bus.
Oh, yeah. And if he's listening, he knows who he is. And yeah.
Also, again, about missing out on your single life. So I do think people who have been in long-term relationships, they like to reminisce about the old days. But same as a single person. I mean, even as a single person, I've evolved differently and I think about the old times. But being coupled for so long, they really do feel like they're missing out on some things.
They do.
Which it's just like the grass isn't greener on either side.
I've literally witnessed it with some of my male friends when they're in a relationship and their other male friend is like, look at this girl I started dating and she's super hot. And they're sitting there like, literally, like, I could have been, you know, like I've witnessed, they've never said anything, but I've seen the look of jealousy. Like I've witnessed it firsthand. And also, like, when I've recounted stories to friends that are, like, coupled up for 100 years, they're like, fuck, I miss out. I miss that.
Yeah. My friends, even too, some who have kids, and it's not like they love their life as a mom, but they do feel like they're missing out on things.
Well, I just want to let everyone know the grass is always greener. Everybody who has curly hair wants straight hair. Everybody who has straight hair wants curly hair. That's always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The grass is not always greener.
No, it's not.
Being single has its moments where it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
But I feel like everyone, I mean, there are people who have been together for, I have an aunt and uncle who have been together since they were 13.
Dear God.
I know.
I am a different human from 30 to 36.
Right. Like we've evolved.
Oh, God.
I mean, luckily they've been able to like grow together. Obviously, they're not the only people who have done that, but it's just like, you grew with that person. Everything you've done in life is just with that one person. I feel like a lot of people need to have a phase in their life where they're single and they get to experience anything and everything they want because they're not being held back by somebody.
Okay, so another downside of being coupled, no solo time. When you live with somebody,
Yep.
even if you live in a big house, they're there.
Yep.
They're there.
They're there.
That's why all these married couples during quarantine were making me laugh so much. By the way, that should have been a freaking, we needed to bring that back as like a company. It's like test your relationship for 2 weeks in quarantine and see if you're ready to get married. Like we need to make that like a company because so many people would not last.
I mean, the way that everyone's relationship either got married, like fast tracked to
Fell in
marriage
love or divorced.
That was it. Yeah.
You fell in love or you fell out of love. There was no in between.
Yeah.
There was no like, we're going to be a situationship. It was, we're in love or I do not claim him. Take him away. But yeah, no solo time. And some of these people out here, especially introverts, that's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, I love my solo time. I need to be able to recharge that way. I want to touch on one thing that comes with a partner that you really don't have a choice over.
Yeah.
In-laws.
Oh, yeah.
And like
and friends.
And friends.
You inherit all their people.
All of it. And they're around and you don't really have a way around from it. But if you don't like them, are you tolerating the situations or are you being like, I'm really uncomfortable and I don't feel like I need to come to all of these?
Okay, so if you when you get with somebody, married, partnered, live together, whatever it is, if you know going into it that you don't like their friends and family, you chose that person, you stayed with them, I don't want to fucking hear about it anymore. I'm here to say, again, we don't care. Like, you chose to be with this person knowing this from the jump. I don't care. I don't care. I've seen so many people get married and they're like, I don't like his mom. And they don't make it a big thing.
I have a few of those situations where their in-laws are not the best, but like they tolerate the situation forever.
You don't live with your in-laws, hopefully. Some of you guys, I don't know how you do it.
Maybe for a period of time it might happen, but yeah, I really just feel like those situations can be really hard because you obviously don't want to be like, we can't have family time or your friends suck and I don't ever want to see them. You can't choose their friends or their family. You have to accept it all.
Yeah.
Or again, tolerate it.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut.
Look, if their friends are inappropriate and they're making them black out and throw up and they're horrible influences, have a chat.
That's on them to not do all of that.
Yeah,
then.
but also if you're staying with somebody who prioritizes their mom or their friends over you, noted.
Yeah.
I have a lot of feelings on this because I've had family dynamics where a partner came in and trashed the relationship with the family, unfortunately. But it's on the person.
Yeah.
You're the one that's related. So but also like when you get married and build a family, that's your new family.
Yep.
So yeah, I have a lot of feelings on that. And also I think that you get what you get when you know what you're getting and you choose to move forward. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Also, when it comes to being coupled, you can't get cheated on if you're single.
Well, infidelity is on the table.
Yeah.
It is. It can happen.
It can
You never know.
happen.
Everyone who says it with their chest the most that they're not is probably somebody that could.
Yeah.
It's something you have to know, and don't live in fear of it, though. I can't stand those people.
We can't control everything, and that's something we
No.
can't control. Like, let's leave that. Write about it. Journal about it. Like, we can't do that.
Don't go into a marriage trying to be all up on their location 24 hours a day. That is so unhealthy.
Okay. We don't need each other's locations. If it's like you just want to have it for safety purposes, because I get it. But if you feel like you have to incessantly check your partner's location, don't do that. Don't be that person.
I also want to go back to the friends and family one because I have broken up with people over that. I did date somebody whose family was racist to me. Because, okay, if you don't know, my background is Sicilian, Turkish, Greek, and Egyptian. So I had a boyfriend whose parents were very Mayo, and they didn't understand that I wasn't like Muslim. And they called me a towel head several times in front of my partner. And he didn't say shit.
Did he even notice that it was inappropriate?
He would just literally like walk out the room. The pussiest. And this man, by the way, was 12 years older than me when we were dating. And yeah, the way I sat there one day and told his dad respectfully to F off, like in a very respectful way, like because, respect your elders, but also you're wrong, dude. Don't speak to me that way.
Like literally, what are you doing?
And I'm staying in their house.
How uncomfortable.
I was so uncomfortable. I've never been more uncomfortable in the way that it affected our relationship. And I've also dated people where their friends were so inappropriate with them in front of me, and they had previously hooked up or dated, and the way that they would always try to throw themselves at him in front of me and make me uncomfortable, and how he never did anything. I drew down a gauntlet.
Is this the same person?
Different.
Okay.
But also, I told him, if you want to be with me, I'm not coming around these girls.
Yeah.
And guess what he did? He stopped hanging around them.
Guess what? It just comes down to communication and boundaries.
Yeah, like respect.
Yeah.
Again, if you haven't heard the theme of the MissJudged podcast, it's respect. Don't be a dick. A con of being in a relationship for a really long time is sexy time sometimes.
It doesn't hit.
Yeah. You get real used to the routine sometimes.
Sometimes people just have the same sex every time. I don't know. I don't know how. Because if all...
Oh, I said wow.
Oh. I feel like, all right, if we're only doing the same position when we're having sex and that's the only way, that's the only thing we do, I'm bored. Bored. Okay?
Some people like it. If you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. But also, like, that's something that sometimes happens over time in a relationship where you just get in a
routine.
Routine in general. People get in routines, like same thing. They eat the same thing for dinner every week. They do the same show. They do. You come home from work. You cook. You watch a show. You missionary. Go to bed.
Missionary.
Brush your teeth. Start over again. I mean, it can get very same shit, different day in a relationship.
Yeah.
And some people don't thrive with that. So you got to keep it spicy. I do. Okay, so what are the reasons that people settle?
Well, obviously, finances for one. Like if you live together with your partner.
Tax purposes.
Literally tax purposes.
We're getting married for tax purposes.
Yeah. It's people settle also because they can't financially take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And so they just stay because they need that extra help. And
Yeah.
The relationship could honestly be dead.
I get it. Look, I would love to be a dependent, but unfortunately, I am so picky. But like also loneliness.
Loneliness.
Let's be real. That's a
yeah.
real thing.
Yeah, it is. In a big city, it's hard to meet people that want to stick around.
Yeah.
It feels lonely.
It does.
Yeah.
It's nice. But also like the kids thing for, again, that.
Yeah.
I do sometimes think people get caught up also in the we've been together for so long thing, so we should just get married. I think that is a very real thing. And that is why I think majority of people settle.
Like it's the next step that we should be taking.
Like I know several hundred people that have been together 5+ years. And when you ask them, because I'm sure they get that question all the time. After 2 years, you're probably getting it all the time. When are you going to get married? And they're like, I guess we should do it soon. Like with that attitude.
Yeah,
I've had clients
that's really
where
sad.
I literally I love all my clients. I've only had one client that I've absolutely violently hated. And honestly, I'll never do it again. If we don't vibe like that, I can't work with you. But I felt like it was a situation where he was like, I guess I should. And the vibe was, we're just planning the wedding. I didn't feel the love. I didn't.
Like getting married just to have the wedding.
Like we had to because we were together for so long.
They want the celebration.
It wasn't about the marriage. It was about the wedding. And when that's the vibe, like I just had to because we were together for so long. That's the biggest form of settling that's out there, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not for me.
It's not for me. If somebody says
no.
like, I guess we should just do this, like
what the my panties
couldn't be drier.
I can't. Can you imagine? I cannot. That is my nightmare. Like, I guess we should just do this already. Like,
be for real.
Guys, you live one life.
If you're not happy, get out of it. If your needs aren't being met, get out of it. It's okay to be single and it's okay to leave these long-term relationships.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's also okay to be with somebody for 8 years or 7 years and be like, oh my God, I'm at the age where I should be having kids, and walk away.
Yeah.
Because if that person wasn't prioritizing you and thought enough of you to lock you down, why do you think they're going to be a good parent? I'm sorry. I've seen so many people settle for the kids and to have kids, and they are a single parent.
Being a single parent in a relationship is also my nightmare.
Oh my
Like my literal
God.
nightmare. I would rather die alone.
I'd rather not have kids.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I want kids. I very much want kids, but I will not
No.
do everything by myself.
Being like,
If I could, I'll just do it on my own.
right.
I will do it on my own.
Right.
1000%.
We're not having kids so that my partner can quote unquote babysit the children. You're taking care of your kids. It's that simple.
Well, here's the thing, and I think this is the biggest thing. There's a lot of challenges now with dating. And you know who has the most opinions about how to get a partner is the people that have been married since fucking 1999.
They wouldn't even know how to date.
No clue.
They wouldn't know how to do it if they had the chance.
Oh my God. Those people that have been with their middle school sweetheart telling you how to date, get the fuck out of here, Sharon.
They don't know what dating even is, especially not in this day and age.
Well, this is the problem with dating now, and this is why everyone is having so many issues. There's too many choices.
Yeah.
Like ample choice. Everyone could be with a 9, and they could be like, there might be a 10 out there for me.
Yeah.
It is like, that's the version of settling that people are thinking they have right now. Like, oh, well, she's not as hot. It's not about that.
It's generally superficial.
It is generally superficial.
Yeah.
And also like everyone's looking for the next best thing. They are.
Yeah.
You have one weird moment. I've done it.
Yeah.
Where somebody says one weird thing to you via text, you're like, ghost.
I mean, it
I
can
need to get
happen
better
quick.
about that.
It can happen quick, but it's definitely a thing. But also,
Yeah.
I want to come back really quick to what happens, like also the cons of being coupled is you sometimes are also on that person's time. And if you guys have different timings of how you like to show up to places, I'm on time.
Oh.
I'm on time. But if I had a
Yes.
partner who's habitually late, I'm embarrassed.
Oh my God, wait. So let's hit on this because big deal. I have friends where the male who shall not be named is on his own fucking time schedule. And she is a very on time girly. And he makes her late They show up perpetually. If you invite them at 2 p.m., they show up at 3:30. And I know it's because of him. And she's embarrassed.
Because he's just getting ready?
I don't know. First of all, I've said it before. If you take 2 hours to get ready and you don't walk out that bathroom looking like Ryan Reynolds or in fucking X-Men, if you know, you know, or Adriana Lima, you better walk the fuck back in that bathroom and just stay there. Stay home. What did you do for 2 hours and you still out here looking like SpongeBob? Let's not even go there. If you're on different timetables and you're with that person for the rest of your life, my parents were like that actually. For my whole childhood, my dad was perpetually late. Oh. And my mom and me and my brother were going to a wedding and we left his ass.
Yeah, I mean.
And he was not happy. And then he was on time after that.
Okay, it only took one time?
Oh, no. He was so angry. And me and my brother were a bit older. So we were like, no, you're in the wrong. We became like the tiebreakers, basically. Yeah. Like you are always taking forever. And it's rude. We're all ready. Yeah. And then he's a lot better now. He's only like 5 to 10 behind.
Okay, that's acceptable.
My mom is 45 minutes early. So it's a fun, it's a fun dynamic. It is a fun dynamic.
That's funny. But which did you took on the being on time trait?
I am just on time. And you know I'm sometimes even 5 to 10 behind.
Again, a 5 to 15 minute grace period is it. That's it. If you're making me wait longer than that, I'm leaving.
But also I'm always telling people, hey, I'm running 5.
Yeah. I hate running late. It gives me anxiety. Again, I don't want people to wait on me. I'd rather wait on people, but my time is still valued. Being on the dating apps, we're just looking for validation.
Some people are.
Yeah, they just want the matches. They just want the matches. They just want to feel good. They want that hit of dopamine, which, sure.
It's not even the apps. I think some people have literally just creeped into my text for no fucking reason. Yeah. After years.
You've had people who are dead.
Years. And they just want to share a story or...
I'm back.
And by the way, nobody asked you to come back. Who are you?
No.
Who is this? Is my go-to.
Sorry, who's this? Don't have your number saved. New phone, who this?
Hookup culture is a thing.
Yeah.
For men and women.
It is. Some people also don't want to participate, but it's still very much alive. Some people don't want to commit. People don't want to commit. They just want the casualness of the dating and not having the commitment and the ties to somebody, which we touched on.
Well, also the apps are really created to take your money and not get you off the apps. So I want everyone to know that. The only people winning here, it's like a lawyer in a divorce. It's the apps. They're just taking their money from us. They're taking our money out our pockets, promising us a freaking perfect match, and just keep getting us to keep giving them money to find it.
But I don't pay for any apps right now, but that's why I'm not meeting any.
Because didn't you say are out here paying and some men are out here paying for sure? That's how they're. Hello, they exist for a reason.
Is that where the success is more? Is in the paid app?
I've been told that's where it's at. You can also like the challenges with dating now is that I think everybody's so lonely. They're just putting every random person that gives them attention on the biggest pedestal.
I mean, if we're dating like a couple dates, again, you don't know that person. You're putting them on a pedestal, making them think, or you're believing that they're this person that they haven't even shown you. It's just this made up version of this person.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
it's not.
No, they're not your man.
Actually, listen to people when they tell you who they are.
I have never laughed harder than witnessing somebody send me screenshots from a guy they were talking to. This man said with a period at the end of the sentence, I'm not looking for anything serious. And she deadass texts me that with an LOL, like, I'm going to change his mind.
The delusion.
The way that, like, some people say sometimes exactly what they want and the way that people don't hear them.
The delusion.
Delulu.
I mean, don't get your feelings hurt when you don't ever get that ring, honey.
I had a friend who was dating a man who was fully legally married, not even separated, and kept telling her he wanted to marry her and that she was the type of girl he could marry. Had a whole son with this woman too. They still lived in the same building. She lived across the hall. And she was like, I love him so much. They hung out for 2 months. The way that she was like, he's my husband. He is a husband.
He is a husband.
He is a husband. And just the way that people do not hear that situation for what it is, the delulu in dating that everyone has.
You just need to listen to people. That's it.
Nobody wants to. The loneliness takes over sometimes, and I think people just hear what they want to hear.
They want the relationship, even if it's with anyone. Again, settling. Like they just want the relationship.
This man impregnated another girl in the time they were dating. 9 months later, had the baby with the girl. 10 months later, comes back to her, and she entertained his ass again for a few weeks. Still legally married. Now has 2 baby mamas.
I think that girl just needs to learn to love herself.
A lot of people need to be in very intensive therapy because that made me so sad for her.
Yeah, that is really sad.
And I was screaming, what are we doing? You know, as a friend, I'm like, what are we doing?
I also had a friend who was also partnered and started to get a little bit too close to somebody who was married, also with child, and wasn't understanding even after.
Wait, like she knew he was, like he wasn't even, like this guy was, like he was physically separated. Like they weren't together.
He was actively married and had a child, and she was also engaged to somebody else. She got a little bit too close.
Okay, so they were just cheating.
Yeah.
What we want to say.
And then when it blew up, she still wasn't understanding why he wasn't choosing her.
Well, you know what? That's its own episode, honestly. People, that's crazy for so many reasons.
It's just the idea of putting someone on a pedestal like he didn't want you. Like, it's just...
I think some people just don't even understand how to be in a relationship. And we're just trying to be what we are seeing from our friends and family or on TV or whatever. And it's not it. It's okay to be single. It's okay to be in a relationship. It's great. Who's winning? Everybody who's happy is winning. That's who. If you are so, you know what? This is my question to everyone that is single or in a relationship. Whenever they're talking to me about stuff, I just say, are you happy?
Literally, my question when I found out my girlfriend, my best friend, was getting married, that she was engaged, I literally am like, are you happy? I just want to know you're happy. Even though you said yes, have you actually thought, like, are you really happy? I mean, they are. They're like my favorite couple.
Yeah. Yeah. You know the amount of times I've asked people, single, in a relationship, married, divorced, whatever, are you happy? The way that you can immediately tell when somebody is unhappy because they immediately pause.
Yeah.
I've never had anyone be like, immediately no. Like that's nobody wants to admit it.
No.
But the way the pause answers that question for me every time, if I'm married and you ask me, are you happy? I should be saying yes.
Yeah. If there's
I know it's not going to be every day.
No.
But I should be overall happy with my partner. And I should be, if you ask me right now if I'm happy.
Hey, Alyssa, are you happy?
I'm so happy.
Okay, good.
I am. And the way that people don't believe that when you're single.
No, they really do just think we're so sad.
I'm also so sad.
This time in my life right now is the happiest I've ever been, and I'm single. I just started a new career. This has been fun, and this is also so new. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I'm just choosing not to settle.
The call to action right now. Are you happy? We want to know if you're happy. We want to know if you're happy in a relationship, if you're happy single, if you're happy newly divorced, if you're happy whatever. I want to know, are you guys happy? Because I feel like everyone in society is getting sad. And why are we sad? We woke up this morning.
If you're not happy, we also want to know that. We want to hear about it. Let's talk through it. Let's see what reasons people are unhappy and staying in relationships. I want to hear it.
Big disclaimer, we're not therapists.
Yeah, not licensed at all.
Not licensed there. Well, actually, I do have a degree in psychology for those who want to know. So thank you guys for coming to the MissJudged podcast. Don't forget to like, follow, tell your friends, swipe, everything. 5-star reviews only.
Only.
At MissJudged Podcast. Go find us.
We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.